Former President Donald Trump and 18 others have just 9 days to surrender after being indicted in Georgia. It's tied to their efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Trump is also teasing a major news conference for Monday, saying that he will respond to the new indictments.
Yeah, he is facing 12 new felony counts. Joining us this morning with more is our 9 News legal expert, Whitney Traylor. Good morning, Whitney, and welcome back.
Good morning. Good to be here.
We've missed you.
Really? Good.
Yes.
Good to know you noticed I was gone.
Let's get into some of the charges from this latest indictment. What are we looking at here?
Well, they're very serious charges. Some of them, they're state charges. This is a case that originates out of Georgia. They've been with the grand jury for about the last 2 years, really. And we heard a lot of the evidence that came in this case, which was the phone call that President Trump, at that time, President Trump made to the Secretary of State of Georgia. So now there's RICO charges, there's conspiracy charges, there's charges related to solicitation of violation of public oath, conspiracy to commit forgery. So there's a number of serious charges, and the DA, Fani Willis, has indicated she wants to go to trial within 6 months, which would make that, by February.
Yeah, there's 18 defendants in this as well. Several of them have Colorado ties. Talk about that.
Yes, this is a case. Some of the other indictments, it's only President Trump. Here you have, as you mentioned, the 18 additional folks, John Eastman and Jenna Ellis. John Eastman was a visiting professor at CU who's now been censured and other things because of his some of the theories that he was putting forward. And he was really trying to say that Vice President Pence had the authority to declare President Trump as the winner when he was counting the electoral votes, which is really a very bizarre legal theory and not accurate at all. And he didn't have the authority, which is why he didn't do it. Jenna Ellis, she was traveling around with Rudy Giuliani, helping to put forward memos along the same kind of line. She was basically saying he didn't have to open the envelopes of electors who were voting for Joe Biden, which again was completely wrong. So the two of them have also been named.
A big question on a lot of people's mind right now is how this could potentially affect the 2024 election. Are we going to see any trial happen before then? If so, what's the likelihood that that's going to affect the election and how?
Well, you have the political and the legal, and from a political perspective, and I'll stay in my lane here, but it seems to be white noise. He's getting more. Trump is getting more fundraising. People seem to not be paying much attention to it, at least his supporters. From a legal perspective, this is very serious. I mean, this is not a case that's going to settle. This DA, I know her well. I went to law school with her. She's very tenacious and intense, as you see in her press conferences. And President Trump doesn't back down from a fight. So this is not going to settle. I suspect it will go to trial before the election. We have 2 other trials already scheduled. The New York trial related to the Stormy Daniels payment, that's scheduled for March of next year. And the documents case in Florida is scheduled for May. So these are all going to happen. If he's convicted, that's going to create a real question, because then you're going to have sentencing.
Right.
Will he be in jail? What's going to happen there? And of course, this is uncharted territory, so we will be creating precedent as we go along.
You kind of touched on some of them there, but it's kind of hard to keep track of everything that's happening right now. So talk about some of those other outstanding criminal cases that are against the former president as well.
There's so many, and so the Washington and the Florida case, they're somewhat similar. They're related. The Florida case is related to the classified documents that he took that are in Mar-a-Lago, and then of course the attempt to cover it up, which there's substantial evidence there. No conviction, but that's the charges. The D.C. charge is related to the election steal as well, which is some overlap in the Georgia case, because this Georgia case is dealing with both the attempts to overthrow the election and specifically what happened in Georgia. And then, of course, you have the Stormy Daniels payment, which is the New York prosecution. So there's 4 indictments going on. I suspect all of them will, if they don't settle, if there's not some sort of a plea, that they will go to trial next year and presumably before the election.
Well, Whitney, you came back just in time to help us dive and break down a pretty big story. So we appreciate your time.
I'm sure for the next several months, I'll be here probably every week talking about this. But it is, I mean, this is serious. These are really serious charges. This is not a political thing. These are legal. And people who say the election was stolen and everything else, the evidence is in court. That's where the evidence is presented. That's where I would tell the viewers, look at what happens in the trial. Those are the only places where evidence is actually presented, where you're standing behind your law license saying, here's the evidence we have, not behind a pulpit saying we can prove fraud 17 different ways and then they don't do it.
See, we're just going to keep you busy,
Yes,
you know?
That's true. You can't go away on vacation again because stuff like this happens.
Yes, like we truly did miss you. So thanks for coming in.
Oh, good to be here.